The peak of Formula One is a lonely and dangerous place. For the last few seasons, we've watched McLaren rise from the ashes, transforming from a midfield struggler into a dominant force that sent shivers down the spine of Red Bull and Ferrari. But as the saying goes, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. And right now, behind the closed doors of Woking, there is a terrifying question haunting the engineers: is McLaren's current success actually their greatest curse for 2026? While the fans are still celebrating the trophies of today, the 2026 regulations are preparing a trap that could snap shut and destroy everything Zak Brown has built. We are talking about a total reset. A fundamental shift where the past means absolutely nothing. McLaren is entering the most dangerous period of its modern history, and the cracks are already starting to show. They are risking their entire title defense on a strategy that many insiders are calling suicidal. Are they building a masterpiece, or are they falling headfirst into the same rat hole that swallowed Mercedes for 3 years? To understand the scale of the danger, you have to look at the strategy of madness McLaren is currently running. Unlike the big manufacturers like Ferrari or Audi, McLaren doesn't have the luxury of infinite resources. They are currently fighting a war on two fronts. On one side, they are pushing every limit to stay at the top in 2025. On the other, they are desperately trying to decode the most complex technical regulations in history for 2026. It is a balancing act on a razor's edge. Experts are already warning that by trying to win today, McLaren might be sacrificing their tomorrow. The MCL40 isn't just a new car, it's a gamble of billions of dollars. We've seen this movie before: a team stays too focused on the current season and arrives at the new era with a car that is fundamentally broken. It happened to Mercedes in 2022, and it turned their world upside down. Now, the rumors in the paddock suggest that McLaren is falling into that same trap. They are ignoring the warnings, convinced that their current momentum will carry them through. But in 2026, momentum is a ghost. Only engineering survives. If you believe McLaren is the only team that can stop the Mercedes and Red Bull dominance, revent the like button right now. We are pushing for 1,000 likes today to prove that the papaya fans are the loudest in the world. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes of this series where we will expose the secrets of Ferrari and Red Bull. Join the elite, subscribe now. But the technical nightmare is only the beginning. There is a customer curse that McLaren cannot escape. They are powered by Mercedes. And in 2026, the engine is no longer just a component, it is the absolute heart of the car's performance. While Toto Wolff is boasting about the illegal power of the new Mercedes engine, McLaren is left in a state of agonizing uncertainty. Can a customer team truly beat the factory team when the rules are brand new? History says no. History says the manufacturer always keeps the best software, the most efficient cooling maps, and the deepest secrets for themselves. McLaren is essentially fighting a war with a sword provided by their rival. Oscar Piastri has already hinted at this fundamental shift. He knows that the 2026 regulations aren't just about downforce, they are about energy management. If Mercedes finds a silver bullet for their power unit, will they share it with McLaren immediately, or will they let them suffer for a few races while they secure their own lead? It's a game of corporate espionage and betrayal, and McLaren is the one walking into the arena with a blindfold on. And then, we have the chaos factor predicted by Lando Norris. The man who knows the car better than anyone has a grim prediction for the 2026 racing: pure, unadulterated chaos. We are talking about active aerodynamics, wings that move like a bird's feathers to reduce drag on the straights and increase grip in the corners. It sounds like science fiction, but for the drivers, it feels like a nightmare. If the active aero fails for a millisecond, the car becomes a projectile. Norris has already voiced his concerns that these rules will make the cars unpredictable and terrifying to drive. And as we saw in the Barcelona shakedown, the chaos has already arrived. The fuel system failure that left Piastri stranded wasn't just a minor glitch. It was a symptom of a much deeper integration problem between the chassis and the new 50/50 electrical power unit. The MCL40 is a beast that hasn't been tamed yet, and time is running out. While Ferrari and Audi are accumulating miles, McLaren is spending hours in the garage, trying to figure out why their sensors are melting under the heat of the new batteries. Think about the psychological toll this takes on the drivers. You have Lando Norris, a man who has waited years for a championship-winning car, suddenly facing a future where he might be fighting for 10th place again. And you have Oscar Piastri, the cold, calculating technician, who is already looking for every possible exploit in the rules. The rivalry between these two is a ticking time bomb. If the 2026 car is a lemon, if it's a car that can't reach the podium, who will they blame? The tension inside the garage is already palpable. They are defending a legacy that feels like it's made of glass. One wrong move in the wind tunnel, one mistake in the battery cooling design, and the papaya era will be over before it even reached its peak. The rat hole is deep, and McLaren is peering over the edge, smelling the scent of failure that they thought they had left behind years ago. The new era is about to destroy everything you know about F1. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and know the truth before it hits the mainstream news, you must be subscribed to this channel. We are almost at our goal of 1,000 subscribers, and your support is what keeps this investigation going. Share this video with every F1 fan you know. Leave a comment. Do you think McLaren is risking too much by focusing on 2025, or is Zak Brown a genius? I read every comment. Subscribe now. In conclusion, the McLaren preview for 2026 is a story of golden ambition clashing with a brutal reality. They have the talent, they have the wind tunnel, and they have the momentum. But they are fighting against a reset that was designed to shake the very foundations of the sport. The 2026 regulations don't care about your 2025 trophies. They don't care about your history. They only care about who can solve the impossible puzzle of energy and aerodynamics first. Right now, McLaren is looking at a puzzle with half the pieces missing. They are trusting Mercedes to give them the heart they need, while Mercedes is busy trying to reclaim their own throne. It is a marriage of convenience that could end in a spectacular divorce. The active aero nightmare, the 90% rule that threatens to erase their points, and the internal pressure of two alpha drivers, it's a pressure cooker that is about to explode. Very soon, the lights will go out in Australia, and the world will see if McLaren is still the king of the hill or if they have become just another victim of the 2026 revolution. The papaya beast is hungry, but it might be starving if the engineering doesn't deliver. Get your hearts ready, because the fall from the top is a long, fast, and painful journey. McLaren is walking the tightrope, and the wind is starting to blow. Thank you for being here, thank you for being part of this series, and stay tuned, because next, we are going to look at the team that everyone is afraid of. The team that is hiding the biggest secret of 2026. See you at the top. The peak has no mercy.